we'll go ahead and get this thing rolling. For people that this is your first time tuning in, my name is Bryson Tucker. I'm the owner of Sacrifice Training Athletic Performance and the founder of Speed School. Again, a speed school was created because there were people that wanted to get faster, did not understand basic running mechanics, never even really focused on it, didn't know how to really do programming to get them started. So I designed this program for people not here just in the States, but people worldwide so that they can have access to programming, simple programming, but effective programming with active links to describe and show to you how to do the movements in the program. So again, Speed School is a program that teaches fundamentals, basics, and a lot of things that we take beginner athletes and professional athletes through when they come to the facility. Once you go through Speed School and you kind of get an idea, man, you can take different drills out to create your own programs. That's what's so great about it. But you'll have access to time or reps, sets, times, rest. You have access to all of that so that there's no guessing on how much time you should rest or how many reps you should do. That makes it a little easier for you to just focus on executing the drill or executing, the programming for the day, and then, you can move on, okay? So again, today, we'll go over our quick dynamics again. But for programming, we have our quick dynamics. We're gonna take our choppy feet to drive. 4 sets of 20 yards is what it should be. You guys also should have access to the PDF and what it looks like for the 3-day programming. We're gonna teach A-skip, okay? We're gonna teach single leg A-skip. And for B-skip, I'm gonna teach it stationary. It's a B-skip and A-skip, they're not just easy drills put together. I'll be quite honest with you, I don't even really love some of our old videos on A-skip and B-skip because we're constantly getting new information. So we're constantly, we're on the chase to get better every day, just like everyone else. So I'm gonna teach you some stationary work for B-skip, and that ought to help the transition to when you begin to move to do B-skip. It should, but these drills, you have to hammer them in. We also have falling sprints or falling starts again. So some of the stuff that you learned already in the first 2 days, some stuff is new stuff, and we just kind of put it together to give you a nice little package of acceleration work to begin to work on your speed. All right, so we go ahead and get started on our quick dynamics. So for dynamics, again, we start out with just a straight leg kick. And so again, you can do this if you have space to do it for 10 yards, 20 yards, we can do that, all right? You can do 10 yards down and back, or do 20 yards straight and move on to the next dynamic. But if you don't have space, you can do it in place, okay? So here, I'll just do a few reps across the screen. So a straight leg kicks is just opposite hand to foot, okay? And you're just gonna walk it out and kick that opposite hand, okay? Again, you can do that for 10 to 20 yards. Let's go ahead and do that, all right? I don't think I have anyone on today that's actually working through it with me. So might be a little quicker today as I kind of show you the movements. And dynamics is just a good way to get the hamstrings, posterior chain warmed up, get your whole body warmed up, okay? Sprinting is a full body exercise, not just your legs, it's everything. Everything, and you're trying to move as fast and efficient as you can, okay? And that's the whole idea of trying to warm up properly. But these are just our basic, quick dynamics that we put together for this. There's tons of things that we do for dynamics and you could do. Just understand you're not limited to these things, but this is for our 3-day program, all right? So after your straight leg kicks, we're gonna go do our walking lunges. Just make sure every time you step through on a lunge, you do have good arm swing, okay? And when you step through the lunge instead of stepping to the other foot and then going into another lunge, all right? We want to keep those glutes and hips activated, so we step through, swing the arms, and you want to go ahead and do that for 10 to 20 yards, okay? If you have space of 20, great. 10 yards, 10 down and back. If you have to do it in place, that's okay also in your lunge. You can just do them in place, all right? Lunge forward, okay? The next part of our quick dynamics is our slide and glide. Just kind of get the groin area loosened up, the hips. We're gonna step, drop, slide, and glide, all right? So one direction, then bring it back, okay? Biggest mistake we see on slide and glide is taking a step and doing like a lunge through. We're not lunging, we're not doing lateral lunges, okay? You're gonna drop those hips at the same time that you step, go underneath, come back up on the other side, okay? Slide and glide. All right, the next part is our high knees. All right, so remember when we're doing high knees, I want you to begin to work on that twitchiness. Be explosive, be fast, be quick, okay? That is how we get everything kind of woken up. Get the joints moving, you know, get those muscles firing, okay? Work up a sweat, get your heart rate going so we can get that blood pumped out to the limbs and make sure we're moving fast and efficient, okay? So on our high knees, the biggest mistake I see is slow high knees and not high knees. They're low knees. This is the biggest mistake I see. We do not want to warm up like that to be fast. You're not ready to be explosive and be fast, okay? Let's warm up properly, okay? And part of that is doing it at the correct pace or tempo, all right? So when we're doing our high knees, we do want to be fast and explosive, all right? Not necessarily trying to cover a whole bunch of area fast, but be fast in gradual space, okay? Like moving forward slowly, okay? So we're doing our high knees, let's be rapid, okay? And be explosive and get warmed up. Again, if you have space to do this, 10 to 20 yards, go ahead and do that for 20 yards or 10 down and back, all right? Or you can do it for time and place. Maybe you go for 7 to 10 seconds of high knee, okay? Next part is our butt kick, all right? So with butt kicks, what don't we do, all right? This is not how we teach our butt kicks, all right? That's not a part of the progression, okay? We're not doing this and just kicking the ground, all right? We do our butt kicks, we want to be in this motion, okay? Working on that, what? High heel, okay? So when we're doing it, it's going to look very similar. Hold on, let me check something. Okay, thought something happened. All right, so when we're doing it, it's going to look very similar to our high knee, but it's going to be butt kick, all right? That motion right there, not that. Okay? When you're doing this, I feel like it's a lot harder to keep correct posture. Your here is a lot easier to keep that posture, that vertical posture, okay? So, very similar, but with that high heel recovery. Same thing, 10 to 20 yards if you have the space or in place, maybe 7 to 10 seconds, okay? The only other one that we added on was just the pogo jumps, all right? You're gonna be real stiff through the hips and knees, okay? Ground contact, very stiff, the ankle joint, and you're gonna move forward. Again, 10 to 20 yards or in place, maybe 10 reps, okay? Just keep the arms swinging in this position because you want to be able to get back up off the ground. We don't want to do these long arms. We want to make it kind of quick and explosive and stiff. So we just teach to keep it tight right here. Okay? We do want a little bit of vertical movement, all right? And we'll move forward slowly, okay? So that's our version of quick dynamics. Now after that, if you have more soft tissue work you need to do, you know, rather that's foam roll and crossball, or if you need to get a band and kind of work some kinks out, by all means, you can do that at the end of your dynamics. Or if you feel like you need to do some static stretching just a little bit more, that's fine. But we teach the dynamics first. Once your body's moving, we're active. If you want to do a little static work to feel better or loosen up, then go ahead and do that at that point, okay? All right. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go choppy feet to drive, okay? And this last part is really like it's a drill day with some explosive movements. The A skip and B skip, it takes time to really, really and truly teach them, to get them down, you know, like we like it, like we would like it. So this is not one of those things that we just threw in at the end and it's not that important. It's very important, okay? And you're gonna need a lot of reps at it to, you know, to get good, okay? But to start, we're gonna refresh you and use a movement that we did earlier in the week, choppy feet to drive, okay? If you remember the choppy feet, having soft tips and knees, turn sideways, soft tips and knees, and we were working on getting that nervous system going, okay? So if I'm gonna go that way for my 10 yards, our choppy feet to drive is going to be an in-place choppy feet, and then you can drive. You wanna do it like a little clock timer in your head, you can do that. But if you have someone there with you training, you can go off a reaction, off a clap or a go, okay? So if I'm sitting down, I'm working on my choppy feet, and they say go, I just drive out of that position and I begin my pushing mechanics in my drive phase, okay? So that is our choppy feet to drive, not a moving choppy. It's a choppy feet to drive from an in-place choppy feet, okay? Let me go ahead and give y'all, I know y'all have the sets and reps, but there we were doing like 4 sets of 20 yards for our drive. And we'll move to our single leg A skip, okay? So everybody's seen the drill, the A skip drill where you striking the ground, okay? In a nice little rhythm in our A skip, all right? You want it to be bouncy. You want to work on switching in the air. So we're gonna teach it in a single leg modification, if you will. It's kind of a modification, kind of not, because it still can be tough, all right? So when we're teaching our single leg A skip, it is moving, okay? So as we strike the ground, okay, we're gonna get that bounce from the opposite single leg, which what? Causes a reaction to drive this knee back up, okay? There's an action and a reaction, all right? That's the way our body works. After that, hits the ground, boom. The action is to get back up, okay? And that's how we create our running mechanics and we put them together with this A skip. We're just working on one leg. And it's tough to teach squeezing and keeping the opposite leg straight and just using it like a pogo stick, okay? Just to bounce on before we strike again. So we'll teach it. We taught that high ankling drill, okay? It's the same thing, all right? As we go through our A skip, all right? High ankling in with our A skip, essentially the same drill, all right? There might be a different name for it, all right? But we had our high ankling And this is our single leg A skip, okay? And what it does is just teaches you that rhythm and the idea of what it really takes to strike back down, okay, and being stiff, all right? So that's what we need, okay? So again, you can walk through it to practice, okay? And notice on our A skip, we still have what? That high heel recovery, just like what? That butt kick, okay? So that is the actual drill for our single leg A skip. And I'll show you from this other side. Okay, with the right leg doing the work on the back side. Left leg on the front side, you'll see is very stiff. Okay, as you push through, that's the force that's going to propel us forward. All right, that can kind of put it together for us as we really learn how to work on our A skip. All right. So that's our A skip. Our B skip, I'm going to teach it stationary, so it's a little different. On here, you'll see after we do our single leg A skip, you'll see us go into the A skip. To be honest, after we did it, you know, we're getting some questions about it, and I think it'd be best to really learn and hone in on that one leg and do a lot of high ankling work until you can really get that rhythm of the push and stiffness before you really go into trying to do the true A skip where you're working on switching in the air. But by all means, look at it, check the video out, load it up, try to execute it, but take your time. Go through the single leg A skip and really, really work on that, okay? All right, so our B skip, we're gonna teach that stationary. So the B skip, what I want you to do is I want you to act like you're holding a pizza box, if you will. The words of Fashion University. Okay, appreciate that cue, that tip, okay? Little cue, okay? Hold a pizza box without letting the pizza slide, okay? So I like to tell my guys to thumbs up and then turn it this way like they're holding the box with the thumb and the index straight out, okay? And from this motional point, we're gonna come up, we're gonna work on one leg at a time and snap it down right underneath us. Nice little cycle, guys. You pull that heel up, snap down, okay? So it's gonna be a little bit of a rounding motion. If I had like a heel, like a pencil or something on my heel, I could really kind of mark out the path, okay? Notice upright posture, okay? Maintain that posture and maintain a neutral pelvis. You want to maintain a neutral pelvis. Notice when I lift that knee up, you don't see my pelvic tilt back and I lose my posture. That's not what we want, okay? So we want to be able to maintain that vertical posture, hold that pizza box. That's what's going to help us do that. And as we lift, we want to snap, okay? That is what I want you guys to practice working on our B skip in place, okay? It takes a lot of work, and we're going to switch that up. I want y'all to work on doing maybe 3 to 4 sets of, we're going to probably let's go up on the reps. Let's go like 3 sets of 20 reps each leg so we can really hammer it in. Take your time. Let's say you get to 7 or 8 reps. Just because we're going to 20, that doesn't mean you have to keep going until you get to 20 without good form. You get to 20, you start 11, you start to get tired. That doesn't mean keep going because I'm going to 20. We need 20 good reps. Don't get it mixed up. Don't get this confused, all right? So if you're here, you're working, you get to 7, 8 reps, tired, like, man, I need to rest. Rest. Come back. Finish up. Get the rest of your reps in. Once you're done with your 20, you need to rest up, hit it again. Guys, again, we want to condition you for proper movement, okay? People overuse, or I don't know, maybe we misuse the word conditioning and just think cardio. We just think cardio when we say conditioning. You condition your body for whatever it's doing, okay? That's conditioning, okay? So let's condition proper form and mechanics. And I can't stress enough, take your time. Take some rest. It's okay. It's all right. Take some rest. Trying to get faster. You know, in order to be fast, you have to do things properly. And in order to, you know, when you're really working on sprinting, you can't get faster trying to sprint at 50, 60% because you're tired, okay? Get your rest, hit it again, all right? I do not want people to try to go right into the ankling with the B-skip right now. I think you should really hone in. It takes a lot of practice to really get that B-skip right, to get your form right, get your posture right, and really work on that cycle. So after you get done working with the stationary B-skip, all right, I want you to go ahead and go into your falling start, all right? And our falling start, we have 10 sets of 10 yards, okay? You're gonna go 10 reps with your right leg, excuse me, and 10 sets with your right leg, and then we'll go 10 sets with your left leg, all right? So 10 sets of 10 yards right and left, okay? It's only 10 yards. It's only 10 yards. Why is it only 10 yards? It's pretty short, right? It's not very far in the grand scheme of how far we're trying to sprint, but some people believe that if you can modify too much or you can progress too slowly, but for our guys, a lot of times I'd rather be on that end than the other end of trying to progress too fast and then we not get it down. But a lot of people's sprinting mechanics, especially for short distance, like, 40 yards, people's mechanics go out of whack. Even 100 meters, it takes time to break that race down, to get the 10 right, get your 20 right, get your 50 and 60 right, your 80 and, and your 100. It takes some time. So we'd rather focus on hammering in the mechanics in that first 10 yards and then begin to progress it, to 15, 20, 25 yards. So that's why we do a lot of things at 10 yards. We do a lot, okay? And we were jumping from 10 to 20, but now we don't jump from 10 to 20. We'll go down to 15. Now let's maintain good posture and good pushing mechanics and good form through 15 yards, and then we keep going from there. All right, that's just the way, we've changed some things. We've changed a lot, since speed school, but the makeup of speed school is still great. And the teaching of the mechanics and the gist of what we want to do with it, it's still doing an amazing job. So falling start, okay? Remember, with your falling start, you're going to start up on your toes, okay? Sit up on the toes. Then you're going to fall forward, okay, with a nice erect posture, just like that. As you fall forward, you're going to drive the knee up and then down into the ground to begin your acceleration phase, okay? So, for our guys, you got partners or someone training with you, you can say up, you can tell them to fall, and they fall. As they begin to fall, then boom, they can start their running mechanics, okay? Like I was telling Ozzy last week, you want that first step in your falling start to be usable, okay? You don't want to fall, and then that first step is you're stumbling out, and then you get to good drive phase. You want that first, second, third, fourth. Every step matters. It counts, okay? So if you want to start pushing out in the right and out in front with strong, powerful steps, that first step has to be usable. So we step out and we're explosive with first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth step inside of that 10 yards, okay? So we want to make sure we get all of our reps in driving with the right, all of our reps in driving with the left, okay? Work on having a strong first step and maintaining the correct posture while you're in your drive, okay? Just because your head is down while you're driving doesn't mean you have good posture. So you have to work on that posture. You have to do different drills, wall work, whatever the case may be, that kind of helps you work on that posture and where you should be as you're in your drive. Okay, but that's for another day. Today, I just want you to work on falling, having a strong first step, and maintaining strong, powerful arm swings and steps through 10 yards. Okay. And that is our last movement for our third day of the Speed School program, okay? Foam roll again. Hey, at the end, guys, it's really, we can tell you what to do for your soft tissue work and give you some ideas, but you know your body. We, of course, have some areas we hit a lot, you know, in the hips, you know, in the quads, you know, the glutes. We hit the low back, the calves, our feet. But, you know, you might have something going on in the shoulder. You know, you might need to work that out. Maybe the upper back and the T-spine area, okay? Maybe something in the neck. You know, we need all, remember, it's full body, okay? You want everything to be flowing and moving through its socket and the joints and the muscles to just work together efficiently, okay? But that's the third day, all right? So, again, we had 3 days in the speed school, a lot of basic fundamental things for you guys. All of the programming is in there as far as sets, reps, and rest. If you have any questions, then y'all feel free to reach out to me at sacrificetraining.info@gmail. I'll be, you know, looking forward to helping you guys if y'all need some help in understanding the programming or the movements. I'm gonna actually get the file sent over to you guys so you can actually click on the links and kind of check it out, see how it works for yourself. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. Again, it was a pleasure to be here for y'all. If you need anything else, let me know. All right. Hey, y'all enjoy the week. Sacrifice training. What will you sacrifice to be great? Let's get it.